to the broadcast. Apologies for the late start due to technical errors, but here we are and we've got quite a bit in store. This is EBN Weekend Edition. We're coming to you live from Kenya's capital, Nairobi. Let's take a look at stories making headlines tonight. 10 years of service. Anne Amadi exits judiciary after serving as the chief registrar. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua in Zanzibar as he attended the 60th revolutionary celebrations.
Magavana pia waheshimiwe. Na Osoro hawezi kuingia kwa mkutano ya Simba ambayo ilikuwa mkutano ya amani na kuleta vurugu.
ODM is a government in its own word. You dare ODM, you see it for yourself.
Simba Arati, Silvanus Osoro face-off. ODM leaders call for arrest of the South Mugirango legislator over Nyakembene chaos. Well, I'll be captaining this ship tonight. My name is Cynthia Nanjala and let's get started. The Law Society of Kenya has urged the judiciary to remain firm at the wake of President William Ruto's attack on judicial officers whom he has accused of being corrupt and undermining his government's agenda. LSK vowed to defend the judiciary, the constitution and the rule of law, warning that the country risks not developing economically or socially unless the exercise of power is restrained. The march in the Nairobi CBD was attended by Kalonzo Musyoka, Eugene Wamalwa and Kivutha Kibwana, who warned the president against threatening judges handling cases of taxes and levies which they term as punitive.
I don't know why anybody will feel so bad about it, wanting to force judges to issue favorable ruling with regard to the punitive taxes, and more particularly the housing tax.
We will do anything under the law to ensure that we do not slide back to the days when this country was ruled by the rule of man.
Judiciary must be respected and it must be allowed to do what the Constitution says it must do.
If he has any evidence against any of the judicial officers, let him follow the laid down procedures.
We will not relent. We will continue to fight for the rule of law and we will take action. And we are putting Parliament on notice.
Everyone runs to the judiciary and we cannot close our eyes or bury our heads in the sand as the independence of the judiciary is threatened.
The said attacks are likely to undermine public confidence and legitimacy of the vital institution in any democratic state that Kenya is or ought to be.
Opposition leader Raila Odinga has termed the current government as rogue with a disregard of the rule of people, expressing his fear that the country is going back to the dark days. The ODM party leader has accused the Kenya Kwanza Alliance of trying to take powers without following provisions of the Constitution. He has also called out the government for attacking the judiciary with baseless attacks and that their attacks are a threat to the democracy of the nation. The opposition has also threatened to go back to the streets for demonstrations if the courts are not respected.
But the same forces who are fighting against the evolution are right at it right now, trying to undermine the evolution. You've got a team that is busy coming up, drafting amendments to various acts of parliament, whose aim is to try to claw back on powers that have been given to the county government constitutionally. So many of these acts are being drafted somewhere, and because they have already taken parliament captive, they are being passed in parliament without any amendments. Now they are trying to take powers. Under the Constitution, there is no provision for a provincial administration at a county commissioner, as a regional commissioner. There is no provision. The executive power in a county rests with the governor. The governor is the executive authority in the county. The so-called regional commissioner is still supposed to be basically coordinating works of the national government at the county level. But he cannot command the governor. He cannot come and interfere with a function which is being officially and legally held, like a funeral. We must go to court and say that the current structure of county commissioners and the regional commissioners is unconstitutional. It undermines the spirit of the current constitution. And then you've seen somebody saying that I will disregard court orders. That is the language you understand very well. Who are you to disregard court orders? We went to court, to Supreme Court, to challenge the election of the presidency. And the court ruled against us in spite of all the evidence that we put before that court. They came and rubbished everything. Hearsay, rubbish and so on. That's what he said. We said we don't agree with this ruling, but we respect the courts because they have got the constitutional right to do so. You are yourself a product of the ruling of that court, and you are saying that you are going to disregard and disrespect the ruling of that court. We will not allow you to do it.
The Orange Democratic Movement, ODM, has called for the immediate transfer of Kisii County Police Commander Charles Kasese in response to a recent outbreak of violence at events organized and attended by the Kisii County Governor Simba Arati, further asserting that the county boss's life is in danger. Addressing journalists in Kisii on Friday, ODM Secretary General Edwin Sifuna intimated that Kasese and officers under his command reportedly turned a blind eye to the violence that erupted at two separate events organized by Arati on January 6th and 8th of 2024. While condemning Interior CS Kithure Kindiki and Japheth Kome for failing to address the attacks, Sifuna further asserted that police are allegedly planning a raid on Arati's residence, claiming it is under the pretext of searching for illegal firearms.
Following the public outrage over the incident and fearing a backlash, it is now understood that the police in Kisii, under the leadership of the county commander, Mr. Charles Kasese, are now planning a diversionary raid on the governor's residence in the guise of searching for firearms. We take this opportunity to condemn in the strongest possible terms the actions of Honorable Osoro and the police and demand as follows. Number one, that the IG of police must immediately transfer the Kisii Police County Commander. Yes. Number two, that action must be taken against the officers identified in the attack during the issuance of the bursary forms. They should be interdicted as they await their date with justice. Number three, that at the very minimum, Honorable Osoro should be asked to record a statement with the police if he has become too powerful to be arrested. Number four, that the Independent Police Oversight Authority must immediately commence investigations into the abuse of police power in Kisii County. Lastly, all these things must happen within the next 14 days, failing which the party will pursue other avenues to ensure law and order in Kisii. Amen. In the meantime, we wish to state that should any harm come to our party national vice chairperson and governor of Kisii, Honorable Simba Arati, as a result of any subsequent attack against him, the persons named here, including Honorable Osoro, Police Commander Charles Kasese, and the IG of Police will be held personally responsible. Wameniambia kwamba chini ya siku 14 watakuwa wamekamilisha uchunguzi kuhusu matukio haya yote, lakini sisi tunasema kwamba kama chama tuko katika hali ya hatari ya kwamba maisha ya mheshimiwa gavana wa Kisii Bwana Simba Arati yamo hatarini, na wale ambao wanahatarisha maisha ya gavana si wengine bali polisi wenyewe wakiambatana na mbunge wa Mugirango Kusini Bwana Silvanus Osoro. Na mimi nataka kumwambia Silvanus Osoro kama kijana mwenzake ya kwamba taifa hili limetoka pahala pagumu sana, na hawa Wakenya kwa maisha yao kwa sasa wanataka viongozi ambao watatoa hope kwa wananchi kwamba taifa hili linaweza kuwa tofauti. Sisi vijana hatuwezi kufanya tabia mbaya ambayo wazee walikuwa wakifanya kitambo.
In response to that, Kisii County Governor Simba Arati has condemned the police actions that led to a disruption of a meeting he had convened at Nyakembene Market in Kisii County. The governor has given a detailed account of the events that led to the disruption that saw more than 2 people injured. Arati, who doubles up as the ODM National Vice Chairperson, has pointed an accusing finger to the South Mugirango Member of Parliament Silvanus Osoro as the mastermind of the attacks. Arati was also seconded by Homa Bay counterpart Gladys Wanga and the minority leader Opiyo Wandayi.
Wabunge wako na kazi yao, MCAs wako na kazi yao, women rep ako na kazi yake, senator ako na kazi yake, na gavana ako na kazi yake. Na wewe Mheshimiwa Ruto uko na kazi yako. Wacha niseme kama vice chairman wa chama. Kisii iko hapa, Migori iko hapa, Homa Bay iko hapa, Kisumu iko hapa, Siaya iko hapa, Busia iko pale, Kakamega iko. Mimi ni kuwepo. Tutapambana na nyinyi vilivyo kisiasa. Ndugu zangu wabunge ambao mko hivi. Wacha bwana. Wacha mambo ya tangatanga. Wacha tufanye, this region is one region. Ama wapi wote Eddie amesema. Hapa sisi ni orange na itabaki kuwa nini? Orange. Wacha niwaambie ukweli. Nifunge macho hivi, nikifungua nipate hakuna mtu nyuma ya baba, mimi nitabaki peke yake nyuma yake.
Hii mambo ya Osoro kuingia kwa mkutano yako na analeta nyokonyoko haiwezi kubalika. Haiwezi kubalika. Na sisi tunataka kusema kama magavana pia, lazima magavana pia waheshimiwe. Na Osoro hawezi kuingia kwa mkutano ya Simba ambayo ilikuwa mkutano ya amani na kuleta vurugu na kukuja na bunduki. Na mpaka sasa hakuna mtu ameita Osoro kuandika statement ama kufanya chochote, na wale watu wote waliumia pale Kisii ni kwa sababu ya Osoro.
Don't allow it. I want to see from here the IG of police summoning Osoro to go and record a statement for the atrocities he's accused of committing in Kisii against our own governor and these people.
Chief Justice Martha Koome has said any complaints and accusations brought forward against judges should be substantiated with enough evidence to warrant the removal of a judge from office. Koome, who spoke in Nairobi during a farewell party of the Chief Registrar of Judiciary, Anne Amadi, stated that baseless attacks are detrimental to the democracy, law and order of the country. The CJ further called on the general public to defend the Constitution, and should any complaints rise, they should be lodged in a manner prescribed by the Constitution of Kenya.
We are ready to process any complaints against any judge or judicial officer who is implicated in corruption or in any other acts of misconduct, and state that we abhor corruption in all its formats, be it bribery, which is indeed a crime. However, such complaints must be launched and processed in the manner prescribed by the Constitution. Days are gone when officers were hounded, judges, judicial officers were hounded out of office through name calling and naming and shaming. The Judicial Service Commission, which is the body mandated by the Constitution to deal with matters of complaints, will only act on the basis of evidence and not on blanket statements or allegations that have not been substantiated. Doing otherwise will mean that we will be overthrowing the Constitution.
After 10 years of service, the Chief Registrar of the Judiciary, Anne Amadi, stepped down. On Friday, she handed over her duties in a ceremony that was presided over by Chief Justice Martha Koome. Amadi has held the position of Chief Registrar since 2014, and Amadi is the only registrar who has sworn in 2 heads of state, including the former President Uhuru Kenyatta in 2017 and President William Ruto in 2022. On November 25th in 2023, Amadi proceeded to terminal leave, also known as transition leave or transition time. The Judicial Service Commission already announced the vacancy of the office of the Chief Registrar of the Judiciary, which is set to be open on January 13th, 2024.
We have equally faced a lot of challenges, including the perennial backlog issue, challenges in the implementation of innovative case management systems, and streamlining procedures. We've weathered the storms of misconduct and perception of misconduct, upholding the highest standards of integrity and accountability. And through it all, we kept our eyes fixed on the beacon of the rule of law.
By the reduced number and severity of audit queries about the judiciary. These achievements are but just a snapshot of Honorable Anne Amandi's vast contributions over the years. However, public service by its very nature involves periods of transition. We each make our mark, contribute to the greater good, and then pass the baton to the next generation of readers. So today, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as Anne Amandi prepares to embark on her new endeavors, on behalf of the judiciary, on behalf of the Judicial Service Commission and the National Council for the Administration of Justice, extend our heartfelt gratitude to you for your invariable service and wish you the very, very best in your future endeavors. In the interim, I call upon the Acting Chief Registrar, Honorable Paul Demo, and your entire office of the Chief Registrar. It's a very central office to uphold and this legacy of handwork and dedication that has been truly the hallmark of this office.
President William Ruto has appointed Professor Patrick Vakoijen as the new Chancellor of the University of Nairobi. The professor will serve in his new capacity for the next 5 years. He replaces Professor Amukowa Anangwe, who has been serving as acting Chancellor. Before he was appointed, Professor Vakoijen served as the distinguished chair of the Wangari Maathai Institute for Peace and Environmental Studies by the University of Nairobi. He's also the CEO of the Global Center on Adaptation and the Ban Ki-moon Chair on Climate Adaptation Governance at the University of Groningen. He previously served as the World Bank Group Special Representative on Climate Change. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua arrived in Zanzibar for the celebrations to mark the 60th anniversary of the Zanzibar Revolution. Gachagua will be representing President William Ruto at the event, and the Deputy President was accompanied by his wife, Dorcas Rigathi, and members of Parliament, including Owen Baye of Kilifi North, Michael Mushira of Old Jororok, Letipila Eli of Samburu North, Raquel Nyamai of Kitui South, Joseph Cherorot of Kipkelion East, Jen Jerry, Kirinyaga County MP, and Cynthia Muge of Nandi County. Other prominent leaders from Africa who graced the occasion included President Paul Kagame of Rwanda and President Yoweri Museveni of Uganda.
On behalf of Dr. Ruto and the people of Kenya, I thank Your Excellency Dr. Hussein Mwinyi for gracing our 60th Jamhuri Day celebration last month in Nairobi. It was not only a kind gesture, but also a confirmation of the sisterhood and good neighborhood that the people of Kenya and the United Republic of Tanzania have enjoyed for decades. Through Her Excellency President Samia Suluhu, we continue deepening cooperation and collaboration in various fronts for socio-economic transformation of our people. This rides on the existing frameworks under the East African Community, COMESA, among others. We continue to demolish trade barriers to enhance seamless trade and other forms of interaction, because we do not want to be defined by our boundaries, but the depth of the mutual benefit of our brotherhood and sisterhood. We reject being defined by boundaries of colonialists That is why Kenya has removed visa requirement for Africans visiting our nation. We want to grow beyond the borders of our country because there is no more to gain in breaking boundary barriers than closed-door policies. A visa-free region is also an enabler to the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, which Kenya and the United Republic of Tanzania are party to. Indeed, Tanzania is our leading export market, but we can do more in balancing trades.
Embu County government has decided to fulfill the demands of doctors with the intent of ending the strike to avoid disabling the health sectors. The doctors, through their union, the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Union, have agreed to return to work for 5 days, waiting for the promise regarding the agreement made between the county and the doctors. According to Governor Cecil Mbarire, she admitted the delay in the promotions of doctors, mentioning the claims of the existing government not to make proper budget arrangements. The county, through the governor, have promised to pay all doctors money as delays of 5 million shillings.
We have come up with a document that essentially we shall form a bipartisan team that shall engage in discussions and come up with a document. Meanwhile, we have decided to suspend the strike from tomorrow. So we want to ask our doctors to report to work as from tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Then we shall be giving directions as from then.
The KMPDU has agreed to suspend the strike from 12th January 2024 up to 17th January 2024, when the bipartisan committee report will be tabled to the larger team chaired by the governor. Failure of both parties to agree, the industrial action will resume immediately. The doctors will resume work on 12th January 2024 at 8 a.m. The county agreed not to victimize any doctor who participated in the industrial action.
In Taita Taveta County, the education sector has been strengthened with more than 1,000 students about to join secondary schools after recording best results in the KCSE 2023. Well, only 7 students failed to sit for the exams despite registering for the tests. In 4 regions of Mwatate County, which registered 614 candidates, including Taita, 428, in Voi, 137, and 1,251 candidates are set to join various universities.
I have 4 sub-counties. Mwatate, there were 614 students who are going to university straight, C+ and above. Taita with 428, Voi with 137 students going to university, and then Taveta, 72 students going to university. That's a total of 1,251. For sure, there are about 6 students who absented themselves, who have not done exam this year. We could not get them the last minute, but all other 7,161 have done the exam except 6 students whom we have not seen them. The result was good. Majority of the other students are going to diploma colleges and few certificate colleges. In fact, we have very few E's. In fact, we have about less than 10 E's in the whole county, which we are very much happy about it. So everything is going well. I want to thank the politicians, the leaders, the stakeholders, my education officials in the county for the support that they have given us throughout the year, the principals and their teachers who have done good job, and I believe as years goes on will better the result. By this year coming, the result will be better.
Kwa sababu mwaka jana tulikuwa na mean score ya 268 na tulikuwa tunanuia kupata mean score ya 290. Kwa hivyo tuliposikia mean score ya 321, nafikiri ilituacha katika hali nyingine. Siwezi eleza kama yani unajipata katika hali unafikiria ulie ama ucheke ama ufanye nini. Ilikuwa ya kufurahisha sana. Lakini yote 9 changamoto hazikosekani. Kwanza kabisa nikienda pale kulikuwa na shamra, kulikuwa na maandamano nini na nini, kwa hivyo niliingia kidogo nikiwa na woga. lakini uzuri Mungu aliniwezesha, na niliposhikana na ile kamati vizuri, tukafanya kazi kwa moyo na tukaweza kupata matokeo mazuri.
Tuliibuka wakili na minisco ya 313.51. Wakati tulianza mwaka tulifanya mkutano na kamati ya shule na tukaweza kukadiria tunaweza kuwa na minisco ya 310. Kwa hivyo tulikuwa tunang'ang'ana sana ili minisco yetu tuweze kupata yale malengo ambayo tulikadiria pamoja na walimu. Kwa hivyo tulikuwa tunafanya kazi pamoja kama timu moja. Kila wakati tukifanya mtihani tunaketi, tuna analyze matokeo ya wanafunzi wa darasa la 8, na tulipofika muhula wa 3 tukawa sasa tunashirikisha wazazi. Tukifanya mkutano tunashirikisha wazazi, tunajadilia matokeo ya wanafunzi, alafu tunaangalia pia changamoto hapa na pale za wazazi, alafu tunaendelea kuwatia moyo. Lakini zaidi ya yote tulishukuru kwa hii performance, manake ni highest so far kwa hiyo shule ya Mdundonyi ya minisco ya 313. Hatujawahi kuwa na minisco ya 313.
Thank you for watching EBN Weekend Edition. Do join Consolata Chibalonza on tomorrow's evening broadcast. Have yourselves a wonderful weekend and a warm night as well. My name is Cynthia Nanjala.